Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. What's going on, everyone? What's going on? Oh boy, Chrissy's talking again. Chrissy is talking again. Shout out to Chrissy. Shout out to Chrissy. Oh boy, why are we reviewing this? Well, Chrissy is talking about Corey Holcomb, and she took a joke and Corey's comedy. By the way, Corey has been saying stuff like this for, I don't know, over a decade. Um, Clearly, Chrissy either knows who Corey Holcomb is and is pretending she doesn't because she's trying to prove a point here to her subscribers, or she doesn't know who Corey Holcomb is. Either way, we end up here. And what is here, Z? So Chrissy is reviewing, and we're going to speak about why we're covering this in a minute. Chrissy is speaking about Corey Holcomb's interview with Cam Newton, which is hysterical. It's Corey as usual. And Chrissy has, excuse me, Corey has been making the same type of jokes in different ways for a long time, and he has a following. Corey's joke of, going to the hood to struggling, impoverished women and offering them $40, right? We all know it. And how much he can get out of them because they're in the struggle. And if you see the way Corey makes the joke, he's poking fun at these women. He's poking fun at them in a way where it's like, how did you get here? Right? He's made the type of jokes. He's made those type of jokes of, me and my baby mother's other 3 or 2 baby daddies are watching the new guy walk in the door with the gifts, and he's looking down on us, and we're looking at him like, you'll be here next year, sitting on the couch, looking at her like she's a loser type talk. He's made these type of jokes for decades, right? But Chrissy uses this as the time to quote unquote educate her subscribers and followers about how to stay away from the Corey Holcombs of the world. And you better believe she snipes at black men. She snipes at working class men in general, but specifically black men, of course, working poor black men. But of course, she speaks about women leveling up, getting into level up spaces, and essentially avoiding men like Corey, and how, to avoid black men in particular like Corey. And obviously, there's talks of black men and their insecurity because they lost the global patriarchal race game, and white men stripped them of their patriarchy, etc., etc. Chrissy, you and other women of color in your white peen chase. Notice I didn't just say black women. It's very interesting watching all of y'all come right back to tucking yourselves under white men. Black women, Latina women, Asian women, all of y'all finding real interesting ways to say, yeah, I'll do it. I'll suck on the white peen. I'll do it. Right? It's real interesting seeing all of y'all come back to the same place, right? Train tracks. So, to Chrissy, I'll say, and Chrissy says something I find really, really interesting. Talks of essentially, as you level up, you'll find yourselves in these spaces. And Chrissy, this is the thing. I call it social math. The problem we have here, Chrissy, is that women writ large aren't doing the social math. Chrissy, y'all are already screaming. 40% of women earn more than their male counterparts already. That's women writ large, Chrissy, not just black women. Women writ large. 40% of women writ large in America earn more than their male counterparts. And y'all are screaming already. Do you appreciate what that means for black women specifically? Do you appreciate what that means for y'all chances at hypergamy? Are you doing the social math, Chrissy? That's number one. Number two, when you spoke of, being comfortable being single for a while, no, Chrissy, for a lifetime. For a lifetime, Chrissy. Chrissy, I know you see those videos of women crying in their cars. That's white women, that's black women, that's Latina women, a couple of Asian women even here and there. Chrissy, I just reviewed Dr. Marcia Inhorn speaking about women freezing their eggs, Chrissy. That small hat women, hopefully you know what Z means by small hat, and Asian women. You know the two group of women that earn the most in America? The most highly educated women in America? I know. Black women are the most highly educated. That's not what it says. Chrissy, you know why those women, at least what they say, you know why those women are freezing their eggs, Chrissy? Because they can't practice hypergamy. Wait, you mean the women that are elite can't practice hypergamy? Yeah, because they are the roof now. Can't climb up to the roof when you are the roof. Uh-oh. Huh? And because I referenced it, Chrissy, I will link it in the description box. Chrissy, there is some major change that has gone on planet Earth because of feminism over the past 40, 50, 60 some odd years. Second wave feminism on to now. We're in 2024. We're about to be in 2025, and just about a month and some change, right? 2 months and some change. Chrissy, this is the new normal. The era of hypergamy is dead, Chrissy, for the masses of women. Y'all cannot practice hypergamy. You can't have equality and hypergamy occupy the same space at the same time, Chrissy. Period. Huh? So you're using Corey Holcomb to say what exactly? Get the bag, ladies, and then get into spaces with other men that are getting the bag, and then you'll get a well-off rich man, and then he'll do what? Not exercise his options? Uh-oh. Huh? He won't remind you that he can leave at any moment in time because he's that Z almost he's that Negro. Almost, yo, almost. Chrissy, explain this to Z? We're not talking about in how far am I? Okay, we're not talking about abuse here. Women want that Negro, whether that Negro is white, black, Latino, Asian, and yet they want that Negro to act like he's not, to move like he's not, to not exercise his options, to not remind you occasionally that excuse me, ma'am, you do realize I can get another you, right? Huh? And of course you use this as an opportunity to snipe at black men here and there. Of course you did, Chrissy. Of course you did. Little white worshiping ass. Of course you did. Wait, let's go with what you're saying. Because I love going here with women like you. Wait, so white men stripped black men of their patriarchy and they didn't strip indigenous Latino men? They didn't strip Asian men? America's trying to choke out China right now in front of your face. Apparently you don't see it. Huh? Have you ever spoken to any Japanese about their stagnant ass economy for the past 30 years and asked them why and how that happened? Y'all look at these opportunities to snipe at black men and then completely forget about, I don't know, the rest of the world, American history, world history. Any chance to snipe at black men. Yeah, because white men strip the black men of their patriarchy, so they feel weak and vulnerable. If you wanted to call us BANs, you should have just said it. For those of you that don't know what BAN mean, right? Right? Huh. So Chrissy, of course, looks at every opportunity to snap at black men as an opportunity to snap at black men, and you better believe she's gonna take it. You better believe it. And my apologies, y'all. I'm going to Borg in a minute, so we'll just keep on talking. I'll come back and say some of these things a second time, right? But I don't know what I'm gonna Borg. I'm just giving y'all fair warning. the reason why we cover things like this, particularly coming from Chrissy, because she framed it as if she was giving advice. Framed this as if she was giving advice, as if she was doing her subscribers a solid, right? Huh. As if she was looking out. This is what advice is in those spaces. You know, being comfortable with being single for a while. No, Chrissy, tell the women the truth, Chrissy. Grow your ovaries and tell the women the truth, potentially for a lifetime. Prepare to be single and lonely, because just but be prepared to be single and lonely, potentially lifetime. Try to exercise your insane notions of hypergamy, right? Huh. So we're covering this because this is what advice look like. These are the women you're coming into contact with, everyone. Women that you're coming into contact with. Women sitting across from you in those speed dating events, in those matchmaking events. While she was preparing to go to the matchmaking event, she was listening to Chrissy. She was listening to Real Talk with Yanni. While she was putting on her makeup. Right? This is what counts as advice over there. Using a comedian and what he's saying to paint a bigger picture about what? Bum ass black dudes that have a couple of dollars and that use it to abuse black women and take advantage of poor women. Chrissy, do you hear how you speak? You've never used the word love that I remember, that I recall. You don't think what y'all doing over there is raising a bunch of entitled, spoiled brats to prey on men? You don't think that's abusive? You don't see that as abusive? You don't think raising a bunch of women to see men is nothing more than walking wallets and overglorified guard dogs, whether she has her own money or not? You don't see that as predatory? It's real interesting. I thought we were talking to the sex that understand nuance. I thought we were speaking to the sex that was the better communicators. I thought we were speaking to the sex with the better intuition. Huh? And yet you don't appreciate how women prey on men, whether she has her own or not. Oh, I forgot. Y'all frame it differently, so it's not the same, right? Chrissy, what do you think you've been doing with your channel for the past few decades? I said past few decades. My apologies, Chrissy. The past few years, what you think you've been doing on your channel? It hasn't been a decade yet. My apologies. The past few years, what you think you've been doing on your channel? Y'all frame it a bit different. Is your message really different? All of y'all that's teaching these or have these little courses about femininity and being softer and how to catch you a rich man and manipulate him. That's the right word. Thank you very much. And get him to spin that bag on you. Rich, successful men. You, Chrissy, just say white. Just say white. We know what you mean. Insecure black men. Chrissy, a woman that started a channel about colorism is talking about insecurity. Do you even hear yourself? A woman that started a channel about colorism is speaking to black men, or sorry, excuse me, insulting black men using Corey Holcomb and white supremacy. It's real interesting how y'all talk about white supremacy. Didn't black women have to help pass the Crown Act? You know, because white men were discriminating against them about their hair. All those, by the way, Chrissy, those are the successful white men that you and these other black women that follow you and are subscribed to you are trying to appeal to. Those same white men are the same white men y'all are trying to be in spaces with and get under. Giggity. It's fascinating. You can see Corey essentially preying on women, according to you, whether you use that term or word or not. That was your message. You can see Corey taking advantage of struggling women, preying on women, and you don't think that what y'all talk about over there in the black women empowerment space, black women level up, black women in luxury, swirler, divester space, you don't see what y'all doing and how y'all speak as even worse, really? No, you don't think so? And this is the facet when we say y'all like all self-awareness, when we say y'all are delusional, when we say that, we're not just saying it to say it. And that delusion that you push on your channel, that lack of self-awareness, that harms women, black women, even dark-skinned black women that you claim to advocate for. Huh? Where y'all think y'all gonna find all of these well-off men? No wonder y'all want white men. Y'all really want y'all see white men as naive licks. That's what it really is. Rich, naive licks that y'all could come up off of. And the Nigerian sister that was out here with Trevor Bauer got something to tell y'all about that. Oops. Huh? Where are y'all supposed to find all of these successful men that are okay with being used as nothing more as to pad your wallet? Whether, once again, let me say it, Chrissy, before y'all try to hide that. Well, I have my own. I can do for myself. I'm successful myself. Chrissy, it's not just poor ass men doing passport bros. Oh, by the way, Chrissy jabbed that passport bros also. Chrissy, it's not just poor ass men doing passport bros, Chrissy. It's not just struggling ass men that's doing passport bros, Chrissy. It's not just socially awkward men doing passport bros, Chrissy. It's not just loser men doing passport bros, Chrissy. Men are tired of women like you all across the developed world in the West because our system did not raise y'all and socialize y'all of what equality actually looks like. When you scale equality past just yourself, you selfish holding it. When you look at this on the macro, when we're not so self-centered and myopic, when you scale what equality looks like, the women said they ain't going. Chrissy, you are a testament to that. Huh? You're a testament to that. And so, yes, the men are attempting to get a better deal for cheaper. The the men are attempting to get a better deal for cheaper. So yes, they're going overseas. And once again, it's not these socially awkward, weird loser guys that barely have a couple of dollars to rub together, but he can't afford a plane ticket. Yeah, that sound nice. If that's what you got to tell yourselves, these are the men that can compete against other men. Yeah, because the West is producing wives, right, Chrissy? The passport bros are not just men that are going overseas, dropping a couple of dollars to get some cheap vagina. Those men could go bin the red light district of any city in America to find that. There's an experience they are looking for, Chrissy. A relationship with a woman that they're looking for. That's why they're going overseas. Are you going to find the bum ass dudes that can barely rub two quarters together but still manage to afford a plane ticket and went overseas and, well, got caught up or got stuck there? Yes, that happens. Yes, that happens. And when that happens, you and Paris and whoever else make sure to do y'all videos to make fun of it. Yes, it happens. Is that the majority? No. Huh? Chrissy, there is a cost to women thinking and sounding like you in the West, in America. There is a cost to that. And the cost to that are the men like Corey who have a couple of dollars telling you how they move. Now, does Corey move like that in real life? Maybe, maybe not. But he's been making jokes like this for forever. Number one. Number two, there is a cost to women like you in the West, mainly in America, thinking and feeling the way you do about men, about black men. Your neoliberal assessment of men has consequences. Unfortunately for you and other women in the West, primarily black women, the men of means, once we get to stability, it's over, Chrissy. I just want you to know that. If you think women got choices, once y'all get to stability and above, it's up. If you think you got choices, you have no idea how many choices men have. Once we get to stability and above, if we're any type of marginally good looking and better, and we any type of marginally fit and better, even if you're not fit, to be honest with you. Chrissy, this is why I'm saying to you, if you're going to be honest, if you're going to be auntie Chrissy, if you're going to be honest with your subscribers, you got to be honest all the way, Chrissy. Don't tell them to be comfortable with being single for a little while. No, tell them to be comfortable being single potentially for a lifetime. Chrissy, there's a lot of white women and black women recording themselves crying in their cars. There are women that are all in their early 40s right now, Chrissy. They're around our age, all in their early 40s, telling you they never really been in a relationship. And these are not the ugliest women in the world either. Huh? Those are the women that's not even trying to necessarily be hypergamous too. They're not trying to be insanely hypergamous either. Chrissy, everything you say and sound nice. Is this another one of your attempts at selling fantasy? It sound nice, Chrissy. Is it real? How do how do we have an increasing, quote unquote, increasingly equal society amongst women and men? I'm framing it like this on purpose, everyone. Women are increasingly earning more. Women brag about earning more than their male counterparts under the age of 30, and yet women are still supposed to practice hypergamy at the same time. How is this supposed to work? Huh? Y'all want to be equal and practice hypergamy at the same time? Alexa, play at the same damn time by Future, please. So if y'all check out the links in my description box, y'all will see I played or I put Play Your Part by MMG. That's Rick Ross, Wale, Meek Mills, and I forgot the name of the white dude that they had on the hook. But yeah, Play Your Part. Chrissy, the women will either get on the men's program or get left. You could call it what you want to call it. That's what the men are saying. That's what Passport Bros are saying through action. The women will get on our program or get left. Get programmed or get left. So you can either do what the elite white men are on, or you could do what we saying. By the way, the elite white man will have you out here looking sick, looking single as hell. Well, sounding like you, Chrissy. Huh? And Leon says, and thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Z, did you check out the Yada Awakening? They have stuff on the man from 2016-17. Literally, he is pimping women. Polygamous brother that deals with women who have business. This man is a real scammer. No, I have not. I will check it out. I'll check it out. If anything, I'll cover it, but I'll check it out. Right? Huh. Chrissy is passing this off as advice, y'all. This is her Auntie Chrissy mode. This is what Auntie Chrissy looked like. Oh, right? This is what Auntie Chrissy looked like. This is what wisdom looks like, excuse me. Wow. And thank you for that, Leon. I'll check it out. If anything, I might do a review on it, but I'll check it out. All right. Using Corey Holcomb to make a point. Okay, fine. Using that as an opportunity to jab at black men, we should have expected that. Speaking about white supremacy, like, not bad. Huh? We just need to have all these different women, primarily women of color, just sit down and have, you know, let's watch them profess their love of white, hegemonic, white supremacist society. Huh? Wow. The way you just speak about it as so matter of fact, so shrug off, like, black men have their patriarchy stripped and so they're insecure. That's why they're doing passport bros. Huh? Chrissy, wait a minute. You don't think white men are moving this way? Chrissy, do you not hear the way you sound? It's interesting listening to these women of color doing the bidding of white men, elite white men, while they're chastising black men. Chrissy, you have adopted a neoliberal lens at viewing relationships and men. You are a relationship mercenary. That's cool. And you have the unmitigated gall to speak about insecurity. A woman that started a channel speaking about colorism, who has transformed that channel at this point. I speak about leveling up primarily away from black men, if we're going to be honest about the subtext. It's speaking about black men and insecurity. Oh boy. Black men and abuse. Yikes. Financial abuse. Huh? Wow. Chrissy, if the goal is for more and more black women, particularly darker skinned black women, to practice hypergamy, you screw yourself. How do you practice hypergamy in an increasingly equal society, even with the white men? Fine, black men are not in the picture. The masses of black men will not be able to afford to be in those spaces. So it'll be you and a bunch of other dark skinned black women, primarily slim, dark skinned black women, who swear you're gonna be pulling these white dudes in these speakeasies and these smoke filled, cigar smoke filled rooms with the hyper expensive bourbon and yawn. Deer and elk on the walls. Huh? So this is the goal. An increasingly equal society so that the women can practice hypergamy. See, it don't make no sense exactly. Chrissy, you don't think these white dudes like look Chrissy, let's go through it. Let's go through it. Because throughout your picture you showed Mark Zuckerberg with the Asian wife. I wonder why Mark Zuckerberg has the Asian wife, Chrissy. The East Asian wife, Chrissy. Uh-oh. Chrissy, you didn't show JD Vance with the South Asian wife. I know you're not dumb, Chrissy. You could smell what JD Vance is. Why didn't you show JD Vance with the South Asian wife, Chrissy? You know Rupert Murdoch had an Asian wife too. Uh-oh. Huh. You don't see what these white guys are doing? The men do not want to be with entitled brats, Chrissy. That's all men. The men don't want to be seen as nothing more than walking ATM machines and overglorified guard dogs, Chrissy. That's all men. The men don't want mercenary ass girlfriends and wives, Chrissy. That's all men. Good point, Detroit. Detroit says shout out to Trump. Trump, two East Asian wives. I mean, excuse me, two East European wives on his ass. Huh? Huh? You don't see what's going on, Chrissy? Or are you pretending like you don't see it? The men are avoiding women like you, Chrissy. Whether those women be white, black, Latina, Asian, men in the West are attempting to avoid women like you. Mercenary ass women who think that they're leveling up so it could put them in spaces with men with even more money who was more than willing to spend it on her. You know how much that fails, Chrissy? Do you not appreciate how much you're sending these women to be the little sexual plaything for upper middle class and above, primarily white men? You don't think they smell y'all coming, pun intended? You think they don't see y'all coming? Once again, pun intended. Huh? What, because you got a couple of dollars, you think you're in those spaces and those men are going to choose up on y'all? Because you speak his language and you went to the same school as him? And yet we have black women after black women. What a couple of weeks ago, I should have saved it. That was my bad. Um, Sister complaining. I guess she had a white boyfriend or whatever, or white ex-boyfriend or whatever. Dated white dudes before. That she's in some new space, some new environment. She went to some club and they looked right past her. And this wasn't a ugly woman either. Black woman. Wherever she was, them white dudes was walking past her like they didn't even see her. She was invisible. That's the real America, Chrissy. Huh? And Detroit says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Detroit says, have you heard about the passport cis black women are getting rejected in Asia because their preferences and they're on black women got black eye by Asian man. No, Detroit. Yeah, you said you have the link. Send them, please, please, and thank you. Email in the description box. Well, you already know. Detroit has sent me stuff before. Yeah. Detroit says, soon I click that description, I'd shut it off in about 9 seconds. Right? Oh, Kanguru said the same thing I said. Trump and his Eastern Euro wife, they are Asian adjacent, right? Wow. We're covering this is because this is what quote unquote rich auntie sounds like. This is what rich auntie sounds like. Chrissy. Chrissy is rich auntie. This is the wisdom. Boy, y'all be setting these young black women up for failure. Oh, y'all be setting up y'all daughters and y'all nieces up excuse me, for failure. Out the gate, y'all set them up for failure. Out the gate, y'all set them. When it comes to their intimate romantic relationships with men, y'all set them up for failure from the jump. They don't even got a chance. And for you to essentially, in your own roundabout way, call Corey a predator on poor women, struggling women. Chrissy, have you heard yourself or your channel? Have you heard yourself or your channel? Huh? You know, Corey was funny on Cam to Z. I watched the whole thing. Of course I did. They had some serious parts of the conversation, clearly, but it was funny. And there is something to take away from what Corey was saying. Yes, there is a transaction. I'm in a bind, Nate. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Um, there is a transaction that goes on between women in the struggle and men that can help them here and there. Chrissy, you don't think you advocate for that on your channel? What, at a quote unquote higher level? Huh? You don't think that? Do you not hear yourself on your own channel? And I got to keep on coming back to this point. When you spoke about these women being comfortable with being alone for a little while or single for a little while, however you framed it. No, Chrissy, potentially indefinitely. Indefinitely. And that will have social, political, and economic ramifications that ring out throughout society. Because it's not just you saying that. There's a number of white women that sound like you, a number of Latina women that sound like you, a number of Asian women that sound like you. And the US said, let them immigrants in. Uh-oh. And JD Vance and them boys said, hey, shut down them abortion clinics. Well, huh? Y'all don't appreciate what y'all living in. It sound nice. It sounds empowering, right? Reassuring. Corey Holcomb and these insecure black men, and these black men can't compete. And they, when they're in these rooms with the men that we actually saw are drooling over. I wanted to say that we seek, right? When they're in these rooms with the men that we seek and that we like, the sought after men. There we go. They feel insecure, huh? Chrissy, the title of her, I guess, think piece here is "Broke Women Are Targets for Low Quality, High Earning Men." Chrissy, do you not hear the way you speak? Upper middle class and rich men are the targets of aspirational, delusional ass black women. How about that? Oh, we could remix the title. Upper middle class and rich white men are the targets of faceless, dark skin, resentful, angry, misandrous black women. Huh? Indigo reminds me it's a feel piece, not a think piece. Shout out to Indigo Flow, right? Huh? And once again, Detroit, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna check out what y'all talking about with this with these different things. And I am Waffle says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. I'm Waffle says that Yada guy was arrested for biting his wife recently. Wow. Or you? Oh no, you said something else. Oh, okay, not biting his wife, but putting the defeated fist on her. Okay, okay, I see what you're saying. I said biting. Well, as I'm reading it, I was like, oh, he ain't trying to say biting. He's trying to say the other thing. Okay, feet and fist. Yeah, I'm not about it. All right. Detroit said, you want me to put? Okay, no, either one, both, either one or both. All right. I'm Waffle says, I've seen more wisdom come out of a can of beans. Okay, a can of baked beans. Hysterical. Right. It's it's frightening because you would think Chrissy, as she's getting older, would have better advice, but that lets you know how much environment matters. Shout out to BGS. She can't use a non Milton Friedman neoliberal hyper capitalist lens. She can't use a non mercenary lens. She just doesn't know how to see the world and the interaction between men and women any kind of different. I have never heard this lady use the word love. Is it just Z? Every opportunity to see men as nothing but a resource. That's the get back, Chrissy. A lot of women, that's what they think. They're like, there's some cosmic justice they're raining down on men. That's the get back, right? Because some Middle Eastern man backhanded his wife 2,000 years ago. The cosmic get back is women being mean and condescending and rude to men, mercenaries towards men, antagonistic to men. And for black women specifically, because black men didn't win some race war against white men and then made black women what white women are. They want us to make them Margot Robbie, y'all, politically and socially and economically. And because black men did not make black women Margot Robbie or Cameron Diaz a couple decades ago, or Madonna a little bit long farther than that. Because black women are not, there's no black Marilyn Monroe that looms large in people's imagination outside of the black community. And because that doesn't exist, then the cosmic get back towards black men is how Chrissy speaks and how she advocates. Thank you, Detroit. Thank you. Right? That's the cosmic get back. Because you didn't make her a rich white woman. Black men ain't make them rich white women, so the cosmic get back is this. Right? And y'all gives you a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure. Um, you know, and I was saying it a little bit wrong. Chrissy was saying, you know, you have to be content with being single for a little while. It's not a little while, Chrissy. It might be a lifetime. This the 21st century, Chrissy. People are going a while without sex. They going a while without relationships. You tell them the truth, Chrissy. Right? Tell them the truth. Number one. Number two, as I was saying before, and I really want to emphasize this point now. Chrissy saying, and this is really anti-black. This is when we get into some really anti-black territory. Essentially, as you level up and level up outside of the black community, you diversify white, you diversify your pool and your environment. Um, you're less likely to encounter the men like Corey Holcomb. Chrissy, you're right. You will encounter the men that are worse than Corey. The white men that think worse than Corey. And I'm only framing it this way because of how you're framing it. The white men that think worse than Corey, but that don't say it. Excuse me. Chrissy, you think there's spaces where these white men, Latino men, Asian men with money don't think like this? Y'all really think there's a bunch of these well-to-do, highly educated men who work their asses off and they're just naive, starving for your vagina, huh? Naive. Naive to the game, naive to the fact that you're hunting them. You think they're that naive, huh? And these little jabs, y'all be making the most anti-black classist comments ever. Singular as a loose leaf paper. The most anti-black and classist comments ever. Huh? It's how is this supposed to work? Let's do this again. Women fought for equality. They fought to be able to earn just as much as men, if not more. They fought to be just as educated as men, if not more. They fought to be in the same spaces as men, and if not elevated, and slightly deferred to. Um, women fought for all of these things. Women are now earning 40% of women earn more than their male counterparts. Better yet, okay, fine. Women are already screaming about not being able to find men, husbands, crying in their cars. Even Kim Foster has mentioned this. White women and black women, single cat ladies, are crying in their cars because they can't find husbands to practice hypergamy with. Uh-oh. And yet Chrissy comes around, uses this conversation between Corey Holcomb and Cam Newton to emphasize a point. And her point is you have to level up so that you're no longer in the spaces where there's a preponderance of Corey Holcombs. Huh. Meanwhile, Dr. Inhorn, white woman, is telling us that from her studies, a disproportionate amount of small hat women and Asian women, the most educated, successful women in America, are freezing their eggs because they can't find men where they can be equally yoked to hypergamy and practice hypergamy with. Some of those women are freezing their eggs in their late 30s, their early 40s. Uh-oh. And Detroit says it starts at around, okay, 147.36. Okay, all right. Huh. Wow. And Chrissy passes off what she's saying as quote unquote wisdom and advice. Chrissy, y'all are preparing these women, these young women. Because I know you got a preponderance of Z's listening to you, Chrissy. I know Yanni got a preponderance of Z's listening to her. I know Paris Milan has a preponderance of Z listening. Black Z women, women under the age of like what, 28. I know y'all have a nice chunk. I know it's not all, it may not even be most, but I don't know. I know y'all have a nice chunk of women that are Gen Z, all in their mid 20s, late 20s, listening to y'all. And this is y'all advice to them. Whew. Alrighty then. Now we already know people tend to marry in class. We know white folks tend to marry within race. So y'all are sending them out there to be the little fun toy for a Trevor Bauer, and he gonna put you right back on the shelf when he's done. Oh boy, you're gonna be a little fun toy for Paul Ryan, and he gonna put you right back on the shelf when he's done. Bill Maher put you right back on the shelf when he's done. Travis Kelce put you right back on the shelf when he's done. Machine Gun Kelly put you right back on the shelf when he's done. Kid Rock puts you right back on the shelf when he's done. Eminem puts you right back on the shelf when he's done. Goddamn Z, you could do this forever. What's the other British one? The one that was out here with the you know the pros in Cali. Hugh, whatever what his name is, put you right back on the shelf when he's done. Chrissy, you know this. Z is not telling you anything you don't know, Chrissy. You know how we know? Because you're not married, right? All you're saying, Chrissy, sound nice. This is what counts as wisdom. And once again, I'm Waffles. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Hugh Grant. Yeah, I think it was Hugh Grant. Thank you. Hugh Grant. Thank you, Namer. And he got caught with that woman. Now, y'all think y'all would have ever seen Hugh Grant in public with a black woman? He was driving along the stroll and he seeked her out. Huh? Chrissy is framing this like Corey Holcomb is speaking about preying on women. Cool. Preying on women with not that many options who are struggling, who are in dire straits financially. Chrissy, a median household income in America is between 75 and $80,000 a year. You cut that in half, that's about 37-ish thousand dollars, 40-ish thousand dollars for a woman. If we cut that in half, how many women could do this hypergamy and level themselves away from calling Nate because they in a bind? Once again, shout out to Coach Greg Adams. How many women are really refusing Corey Holcomb and his $40? Thank you, Els. And Els Active says, when you got money, women prey on you. It's like you're listening to Chrissy speak, and like the self-awareness is just not there. It's just not there. If you're gonna frame Corey as a predator, fine, okay, cool. Have you ever seen your channel, Chrissy? If you're going to frame Corey Holcomb as a predator, have you ever seen your channel? Have you ever seen the other channels like yours? All your level up content, black women in luxury content. Chrissy, you're the one who told the women I tell average and below average looking black women, if you can't practice hypergamy, then it's better you be alone, and I don't care. I don't care. Chrissy, that was you. That was you, Chrissy. You tell average and below average looking black women that if they can't be hypergamous, then it's better for them to be alone. And now you're coming back and telling them to be content with being single for a little while. No, Chrissy, we're not Xers and we're not boomers. It's not a little while, it might be a lifetime. There are women that are calling into Kendra G now that are saying they've been single for 12 years. 12 years, Chrissy. Not 12 years slave, 12 years single. Jesus Christ. And Longo says, actually, Z, you're listening to Chrissy. Thank you for your continuing to soldier on through that idiocy so we don't have to. Right? And Mr. Z, yeah. My masochism. But I'm listening to Chrissy because this is what rich auntie sounds like. Her and Yanni are rich auntie. And Paris, those are rich auntie. Well, Paris is married. But Paris, and I think Paris has a brother also. Yanni, I know, has a couple of brothers, if I'm not mistaken. So Chrissy has a brother. Yanni and Chrissy and Paris don't have children. Paris not yet, although she's married to a Nigerian brother on top of that. So that kid is coming. So they are rich auntie, assuming I know Yanni, one of the brothers has a kid or whatever. Chrissy brother has kids. Um, Paris, I don't know, but yeah, they're rich auntie, and this is the wisdom. This is the wisdom. This is what Chrissy literally told her subscribers, and I'm gonna have to link it now. It's on Compassionate's channel. That I tell average and below average looking black women that if you can't date hypergamously, it's better you be alone. And she doubled down. She said, I don't care. I don't care. That's wisdom, everyone. That's why I covered this long ago. Because you may be on a date with a black woman, maybe even a Latina. Some of these Afro Latinas might be listening to Chrissy. You or Yanni or Paris. You could be on a date with one of these chicks, and across the table from you is a woman that when she was putting on her makeup and when she was getting ready, Chrissy was playing in the background. Huh? So Chrissy gives some warning about guys like Corey and to stay away from guys like Corey and pretty much what you're signing up for when you entertain guys like that. And so, Chrissy, I'll do you a solid and tell the men to stay away from women like you. Oh, wait a minute. They're already doing that. The black men are already doing that. Uh-oh. I would tell them to get their passports, but the ones that can are already doing that. Yikes. I would tell them to practice SYSBM, but the guys that know about it are already doing that. Oh, shout out to Lion. Well, it don't look like Mr. Z got to give too much advice over here because we're already doing it. Huh? Exactly, L's Active. About 30,000, right? And L's Active says 29,000 listen to Chrissy. Yep, 29,000 listen to that one field piece. Shout out to Indigo Flow, right? This is wisdom. So as I said, I'll put the link. The song I chose for this is "Play Your Part" by MMG. That's Rick Ross, Meek Mills, Wale, and I forgot the white dude that sings the hook. But Chrissy, the women will get on black men's program or they will listen to you. You're right. They will be single, not for a little while, Chrissy, no, indefinitely. Hoping and wishing and praying for that naive ass, well to do white man who's going to pay for everything. Yeah, right? Huh. And I'll give Z 1 second. Oh, oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Toya. I was trying to figure out. So Toya says Chester French Z. Okay, that's the name of the white dude. Thank you, Toya. Thank you. Right. And Toya gave me the name of the white dude that was on the hook for that song. Play your part. So the women play their part, or get programmed, get on the program, get on a black man's program, or get left. It's that simple, Chrissy. And getting left is you attempting, and other black women that think like you attempting to climb that hypergamous ladder, right? So I guess Toya will be in that room looking for the first brother in the room worth a damn, and Chrissy will be in that room looking for the white men that are not ignoring her. Uh-oh. Huh? Toya looking for the chisel chin brother in that smoke filled room, and Chrissy looking for any white man that's open to having some fun that night, I guess. Uh-oh. Right? You would think for someone who had a channel for this long, who's been speaking like this for this long, we would see or hear about some success. She's about to walk down the aisle with the well to do white guy who's naive as hell, huh? And who's eager to just spend. And Chrissy tries to do that kind of damage control where, like, nowadays your average man that's well to do is he expects his wife to work no matter how much money he makes. He expects his wife to work. Um, and yes, it's good to see you and others, content creators that make the same type of content as you are finally getting off of this hyper provider stupor y'all been on for the past decade. So yes, Chrissy, yes, absolutely. Y'all would have thought y'all would have tried to well, excuse me, not self-correct, course correct. You would have thought you would have told the young women not to follow in your footsteps. You trying to make them even worse. You would have thought you would have tried to raise or have the young ladies not follow in your footsteps, Chrissy. You're attempting to make them worse. That's frightening. And Detroit says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Oh, Detroit, oh, what's this? What's this? That's 100,000. That's 100 million. That's a billion. That's 500 billion, and that's is that what's the one after? That's a trillion. So that's 4 trillion. Okay, all right. So let's read this. So black men supposed to level up to 4,500,989. Wait, I said that wrong. Goddamn, we're gonna do it again. So black men are supposed to level up to 4,500,989,544,233. Got it. Pounds of woman, and her measurements are 39,430. God damn, 765 to be real man. Okay, got it. Hysterical. Look, Chrissy knows what it is. Chrissy's not dumb. This is why I critique Chrissy, because she's not dumb. She's just a bitter, angry, resentful, dark-skinned sister. That's what it is. That's why I always find it fascinating when these elders and certain black men try to hide behind these women's education and their degrees and how intelligent they are and how talented they are. And I say none of that matter when we start talking about the peen. Once we start talking about the peen and lifestyle and what she thinks she deserves and what she thinks she should have access to, all of that go out the window. Dear everyone who's not engaging with the black manosphere in specific, stop telling us about your kick-ass, talented-ass daughters and nieces. Stop telling us about how smart they are. Your daughter is Chrissy. Huh? That's what it is. And Line says, even a damn sultan ain't good enough for Fatima. Hysterical, right? So this is not about a lack of education. This is not about a lack of intelligence or talent or wit. This is about a neoliberal assessment of men and white elite men taking women's natural hypergamous nature and breaking the knob. There's a pun in there. Uh-oh. Right? Elite rich white men put their fingers to the wind, knew they knew the proclivities of women, and they've been messing with these young girls' minds through propaganda, selling them materialism and consumerism, and now these women are Chrissy's age, and she's never gonna get off of it. And make it worse, now Chrissy herself is a propagandist, and they're so hell bent on it's this lifestyle and it's this view of men or nothing that Chrissy is it. Oh man, shout out to Compassionate for clipping it when I said it. Um, Chrissy literally is saying, if you can't date hypergamously, then it's better you be alone. Now she's telling them to be content with being single for a little while. No, I just want to make sure I say it every time I say this. No, Chrissy, it's not for a little while. It might be for a lifetime. Chrissy, that's a lot of misery. That's a lot of Haagen-Dazs ice cream that you got to work off in the gym the next day. What gym? Oops. That's a lot of Lifetime movies, Chrissy. That's a lot of day parties and brunches and mimosas with your homegirls that you trying to drown yourself with the mimosas, drown your sorrows, right? That's a lot of out of town girls trips to Jamaica to get your back blown out by Dexter St. Jacques, huh? That's a lot of trips to the Caribbean. That's a lot of trips on these cruises to try to make up for it, Chrissy. That's a lot, huh? I don't know. Being content being single, yes, you're supposed to still wake up in the morning and do what you need to do and not, you know, hide under a blanket. Yes, absolutely. That's true. You can't be paralyzed. Absolutely, that's true. But that's not what you're really saying, is it, Chrissy? What you're saying, if these women can date hypergamously, then it's better that they be alone, and then be content with being alone for a little while. Once again, Chrissy, potentially for a lifetime. Huh? Potentially for a lifetime. Chrissy, that's a lot of box wine, Chrissy. Chrissy, that's a couple of cat lives. You gonna bury a couple of cats, Chrissy, by yourself. That's pretty damn lonely. That's a horrible thing to experience by yourself, Chrissy. You gonna go through about maybe three, four, maybe five cats throughout your life, your adult life, Chrissy, that you have to bury by yourself. You're right, actually, GC. And GC says Dexter St. Jacques sound like a Haitian to me rather than a Jamaican one. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And Lion says a lot of batteries too. Yeah, yeah, no, that's a no. You know what? That's forget the batteries. That's a couple of there's a pun in here, but that's a couple of spent rods, right? Nuclear. That's a couple of spent nuclear powered vibrators, Chrissy. Huh? By yourself? I'm saying L's active for real. A couple of cat funerals. There's a pun in there. Huh? You're gonna have to have a garage full of batteries. Goddamn. And once again, Detroit, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And Meat says, thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Meat says, DJ Kid puts you in the ER, then back on the shelf. Oh boy. And that's true. Because the Chrissies of the world are waging a war against black men using the lives of other black women. I've said this before, I haven't said it in a long time. Let me say this again. The women like Chrissy are using the lives of other black women in their jihad, shihad, shout out to Trell, against black men. And so they use all these instances like Corey speaking on Cam Newton to reiterate the point that black men for the most part ain't ish. They lost a race war against white men. And so the best thing black women can do is exercise their options. And if you end up with a black man, then you end up with a black man, so be it. But you shouldn't limit yourself to black men. You should expand your options. All this sound good. That's not what she's really saying. You should pretty much exclusively date non-black men, really. But fine, expand your options to not exclusively date black men. And if you can't date hypergamously, it's better that you be alone. Now, how do you date hypergamously in a world that we already know under the age of 30, women earn more than men? We already know that 40% of women earn more than their male counterparts. How are you supposed, as a black woman in America, how are you supposed to, excuse me, practice this insane hypergamy? Shrugs. Good point, Els. That's a lot of self-defense classes. That point, right? Huh. At that point, only logical says, I'll be shocked if Chrissy or for Harriet gets married. I think so. Last time we checked, Kim Foster is in a relationship with the white. I mean, I want to say white dude. Ooh, we'll see. Yeah, last time I checked, she's still in a relationship with the brother. So maybe you never know. These people are full of crap. These people are so full of crap. Like the Kim Fosters of the world too, because they speak as if the position that the men that they are with occupy isn't part of the patriarchy. Number one, he- if you don't subscribe to a political or social philosophy, like for real, like you know the ins and outs, most people are like politically inconsistent. So they want a bit of this from the left and a lot of that from the right, or a lot of this from the left and a bit of this from the right politically. And so you can have a Kim Foster get married, right? And live a traditional life. And she will still sound the way she does. Because a lot of people are inconsistent. They don't follow the political philosophy or ideology they claim. They're not about it all the way. There's a couple of things where they're like, I don't know if I'm riding with the right all the way with that. I don't know if I'm riding with the left all the way with that. Right? Huh. And L says the max they can reach is Romanian white. Bruh, if we're gonna be honest, honest, Western Europeans for the most part at least have interacted with black folks. You ain't seen white racism until you've seen Eastern European racism. God damn. Eastern European racism is just matter of fact anti-blackness racism. It's just next level, right? That's a different type of racism right there. That's unabashed racism, anti-blackness. Because they haven't even been socialized that maybe we shouldn't say that, or maybe we should hide these statements behind a thin veil of plausible deniability. Huh? Eastern European racism is just a different breed. So Romanian white, that's damn Romanians are not messing with no goddamn black women. Huh? Where are all the Polish men in America messing with black women? Huh? Where are they? Ukrainian men messing with black women. All the whole former, you know what? Let's call it thing a thing. The whole former Soviet bloc, where all them knocking on their mother's door, their parents' door, holding the hand of a black woman and walking in the door with her. You are far more. If we're gonna talk about white dudes, you are far more likely to get that from a Western European white dude. Far, it's not even close. It's not even close. A white Latino here and there, white wasp here and there, white small hat here and there, but Eastern European, pff, yeah, right, right. That's not happening. Huh? Else said they ain't landing any well-to-do wasp. For the most part, no. You're right. For the most part, no, they're not. And once again, I make sure to say this. This is not about, believe it or not, not in the respect of whiteness. This is not about black women's look. This is not about their weight. It is about class. White being a class position. Chrissy, you want to talk about black men losing some type of race war and feeling insecure in these spaces with well-to-do white men? These well-to-do white men in any significant or appreciable number are not marrying black women because of the class position of their race. Huh? What's going on, Tro? Because of the class position of their race. This is not about black women's look or education or even her weight, her demeanor, they just will not marry black women because of what whiteness means. And for you to dismantle that view of black women, you will have to dismantle white supremacy, which is half the reason you want to be in their spaces in the first place. Well, huh? Talking about a catch 22. So all that jabbing at black men and what they haven't built and how pretty much inept and incapable and insecure they are, and the little subtle jabs at the overall black community that you were making here, boy, y'all be letting a whole lot of anti-blackness is sliding right now. It will mean nothing. Huh? So yeah, no, I just wanted to cover this because Chrissy used this Corey Holcomb and Cam Newton conversation. She used this as a quote unquote teaching moment. So I guess what, educate her subscribers on what to look out for the men like this. Huh? Well, to be single for, I mean, excuse me, to be, yeah, single and alone for a little while. Be content. They're not going to be content. They're going to pretend like they are, Chrissy. Black Chrissy, you do realize that black men are black women's sons and nephews and grandsons, cousins, uncles, fathers. We know y'all not content being single. Y'all are pretending like you are. They are not going to be content being single, Chrissy. Huh? Good point, GC. And GC says those types can never be content, even if they get what they want. Man. And Chrissy, if you're around all of these kick-ass white dudes, why aren't you married yet? If you're around all of these kids, you have all of this advice, and you're around all of these kick-ass white dudes who are not insecure, right? They are not insecure. They're not the Corey Holcombs. They're not the Mr. Z's. They're not the BGS's. For those of you that remember when BGS and Chrissy went back and forth. Fine, you're around all the white dudes who are not these people. Why don't you have a ring yet? Oh yeah, I forgot. You're trying to be polyamorous with the well-to-do white dudes and they're laughing in your face. I forgot that part. L says, what about the 4B movement they were making threats about? Man, you know these people hop on trends. They hop on trends. It sounded good for all of the 5 seconds they were talking about it. Had been a little scared for a second. Not. That was the funniest thing. Hey, ain't nothing. This is when radical lesbian and radical feminists. This is when they lose just about all women. The second they start telling women, put the peen down, the women start being like, put the what down? Huh? Let's weaponize our celibacy. And straight women be like, about that. Because the assumption, see, this is what happens. These weirdos speak as if women don't enjoy sex also. So you're asking her to weaponize her celibacy or weaponize not having sex with men, not being in intimate relationship with men, because you're speaking as if she sees it as labor. And she will speak like that if they ever break up. See, when men and women break up, that's when women start doing the sex was bad and the small peen jokes and the 1 minute man jokes and all that stuff. Yawn, you wasn't don't do that, Z. Don't do that. Huh? That's when they do all of that. But the women enjoy sex just as much as men do. So that 4B movement thing it was destined to fail because a number of women want to be mothers. They actually enjoy sex. I know. Wait for it. For all of you feminists, watch this, watch this, watch this. Ooh, y'all better hold them up because they're about to fall. They actually enjoy the company of men. Oh boy. Sometimes even more than the company of women. Oh boy. They're pick me, Z. They're pick me's. They're male identified, Z. By the way, Chrissy spoke about that too. Pick me energy. Oh boy. Trail, that's hysterical. And Trail says, was just watching a show where the white woman said that, just said that, I want to bust a nut too. Hysterical. Women want to get off too. And if you were a real man, a black man, if you're with a black men get off getting women off. Uh-oh. I don't know what the white guys and the Latino and the Asian guys are on. I don't know about that. Crystal and Kerosene said we nothing but Big D and swag. I'll be your Huckleberry. Huh? Just saying. So yeah, no, women get off on it too. Women get off on this also. So yeah, that 4B movement to L's active comment, that wasn't gonna last too long. The women would if we were really in a gender war, it would last all of it now. It would end now, right? Because too many traitors, too many people be jumping over the fence to get some. Too many people. I said this the other day. I had y'all dying. Too many people would be laying on their stomach with their feet waving in the air, waiting for the phone call from the opposite sex. It would last. It wouldn't last 5 minutes. The men and the women, by the way, if we're gonna be honest. The toughest dudes would be laying on their stomach waiting for the phone call. When is she gonna call? Right. And Chrissy telling them to be content. These women were on Yanni's post a couple years ago, speaking about being celibate for years and even over a decade. And it was so tragic and sad. Huh? It was so tragic and sad. Celibate for 2 years and 5 years and 7 years and 12 years. And I believe them. Were some of them lying? Of course. And Chrissy is telling what the masses of what dark-skinned black women, level up black women, level up dark-skinned black women in luxury, dark-skinned black women. I don't know how to frame this. To be content being single for a little while if they can't practice hypergamy at the absolute highest level. What? Those women are not going to be content being single, Chrissy. They're going to put on a brave face when they walk out the door and they're dying inside, Chrissy. You know how we know? Because we're black men and you're talking about our aunts and our girl cousins. Huh? For some of us, you're talking about our moms. Oops. We know they're lying, Chrissy. You know how we know they're lying? Because they're calling it to Kendra G right now. Kendra G just said it on her channel, and I should have clipped it because Single by Choice has covered it, but she said something like the age range of the women that are calling in their are all in their 30s and 40s and whatnot. I think somewhere between 30s and 50s. I think she said the age range, but Mr. Z, I'm sometimes I miss these things. Yeah, Chrissy, that's our older girl cousins. That's our older girl cousins, Chrissy. All in their 40s and 50s. That's them that are calling into Kendra G. 45, 48, 52. Those are the women that you telling, oh, excuse me, those women are the women that you're speaking to that are in their 20s, let me frame this correctly, they're going to be those women in 20 some odd years. In 20 some odd years. Some of these women tell you they haven't been in a relationship for all of 12 years, 7 years, 8 years. Now, going to Jake's point, most of them are lying about being celibate, somebody smashing. Now, they'll tell you they've been single for 12 years, and then when Kendra G asks them, when was the last time you were intimate with someone? 3 weeks ago? 2 days ago? A week ago? He's in the background right now. Oh boy. Huh? Oh, I gotta read this one now. And Vince says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Vince says, we talk plus listen to black women directly with genuine concern. I think we're concerned with them crashing out, right? And once again, Meech, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. But Vince, I think black men are concerned with black women crashing out. I'll tell you the truth. Z is because I keep on saying it. I mean it when I say it. We're attached by the hip. I think black men are genuinely looking at black women crashing out like, oh boy. And the crash out is coming in so many different ways. See, you'll watch things, and I'm actually gonna put right after I end the stream, I'm gonna add something in my post so y'all check it out. The moon um one of the moon channels, because there's two different moon channels that I've subscribed to. One of them covered the crisis of men, and what you see, and everybody's saying this, for the most part, the men are not becoming necessarily increasingly violent. They're just kind of closing in. This is what Dr. Richard Reeves is saying. This is what Scott Galloway is saying. This is what the Moon Channel was speaking about. You see Sagar speak about this often. Sagar and Jetty with his thinly veiled anti-blackness, right? Charles, I don't know why that was funny to me. And Charles said, "My concern is out of stock." Hysterical. And he follows up by saying, "My concern has been discontinued by the manufacturer." That's hysterical. Not out of stock. I don't know why that one is the funny one. That's funny. That's hysterical, right? But we're watching them crash out. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. So the men not being invested in and the benign neglect of the system towards men writ large under the age of like 50, but particularly younger black men in particular, we just kind of close in on ourselves. And what you have is the violence amongst each other, right? The deletion of each other. No one cares about our lives. We don't care about our lives type thing. So it's almost self-contained, not necessarily towards the black community as writ large. I hate when black women frame it like that. It's black men on black men type time we on, right? That's how men are going about it. And shout out to Olay, because I watched Olay on Godfrey, and shout out to Leon for sending it to me, right? And I might tag that also. I might put that in my post in my community chat. And Ole was speaking about the violence in the rural areas that goes underreported. Yes, that's how men are crashing out. We don't speak about how the women are crashing out. And the women are crashing out by those videos you see them crying in their cars. The videos you see them not just crying, but yelling and screaming when they're having these massive temper tantrums in public, when they're going off on the barista at Starbucks for a simple mistake about her coffee. The Karens that now they done slowed up a little bit or is going underreported, that can't mind their goddamn businesses, are all in black people's business, trying to flex white girl power on black people, trying to bring about proxy violence on black people, namely black men. That's the women crashing out. They're crying in their cars. They're throwing massive public temper tantrums. They're cutting their hair bald. Oops. Huh? Shout out to Britney Spears. Right? They're publicly drunk. So the women are crashing out. They're on heavy antidepressant pills. They're speaking about black men Nazi-ish for black women in specific. The women are crashing out too. And because this system keeps on attempting to prop up the quote unquote valor of women, the hardworking, stoic women, right? And y'all give Z a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. And Toya says, foaming at the mouth on panels. I'm about to speak on that in a minute. And Karine told us she voted for Jill Stein in 2024. Karine said, y'all will not get me to vote for Trump or for Kamala. And yeah, no, Toya, yeah, foaming at the mouth on panels. Yeah. The women are crashing. Look, man, y'all Mr. Z already told y'all who Mr. Z see as the number one problem, and it's not the women. I mean, there is a group of women that when you associate them with their man, they are part of the problem also, clearly. White women. Anyway, but yeah, I keep on saying the final boss is not black women. It definitely isn't, right? Lion took down foaming at the mouth a completely different way. Hysterical. But yeah, the foaming, no, they're going off on panels. Yeah, they're going off on panels. The struggle is real, and so many, and that's why I continue to play. I play it maybe what, twice a year now, where we go over that clip about Malcolm in the Middle and the Disneyfication of girls and women, and selling them quote unquote lifestyle branding on television, selling them lifestyle, and how the life selling them lifestyle was the advertisement. So you might be weary of commercials and the ads. The television show was the ad. And those girls that are now women are our peers. Those are our peers. Younger Xers, millennials, Gen Z, black men in particular. So yeah, those women are crashing out because they thought they were going to get a lifestyle with that college degree. They thought the college degree was going to net them the lifestyle, the man, the kids, the house. Huh? And they're crashing out because it's one thing to not get that You graduated with your undergrad at 22, 23, with your master's by 25, 26, right? You might have went to law school. Let's say you graduate law school by the age of 30. Okay, fine. You didn't get all of this by the age of 30. You didn't get the husband by the age of 30, but 35, 38, 40. Ah. And you're not even on the journey of getting it. You're not even looking in the mirror like, what can I fix about me? You're doing that, I'll just love me more crap. I'm just gonna love me more and I'm gonna focus on me. I'm gonna level up myself. Right? Oh crap, no, Toya's telling the truth. Toya said, I had one screaming at me Friday night. It's a chemical imbalance and misdirected anger. Yeah, yeah. Toya, you definitely gonna get that. Even Olay spoke of that. Even Olay, Toya, all of the women who don't have the biggest hatred in the world of black men in particular, and notice I didn't say black women, any woman, from Soraya Brooks to Toya to Shay Sade to any one of these women that don't have the most scathing critique of black men possible. Julesy even got it when her and Chrissy were going back and forth. Huh? If you don't have the most scathing critique of black men possible, yeah, Olay, yep. Yes, Detroit. Even Olay. If you don't look at black men like they're the worst thing to ever happen in the universe, oh yeah, them sisters coming at you, right? Because a number of black women feel defenseless in this current environment. This environment freaking sucks. It's ripping them to shreds. They refuse to get on black men's program. Here's when it gets like, Z, what are you saying? Here's when it gets fascinating. They refuse to get on black men's program, but they feel defenseless. What? And they're angry at black men for not protecting them. Listen, lady, we're not doing this community unit thing. Absolutely not. Trell, that's hysterical. Tell you see what Trell said, right? Right? BGS said hire us for a price. I'm in a bind, Nate. shout out to shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Right? And that's what you don't want to get on black men's program, but the environment is ripping you to shreds, and you refuse, as my title says, to get on the program. Get programmed or get left. Get programmed or get left. Thank you, Jake. The it takes a village BS. Yep. Get programmed or get left. Let me say that to Chrissy again. Get programmed or get left. And y'all could go ahead and try and wait your entire life for the magical white man that pays and doesn't assert no power. Because you're deathly afraid that black men disproportionately, especially black men with some means, are going to be Corey Holcomb and financially abuse black women. Maybe y'all never really watched these divorce proceedings concerning white men of means, but fine. I ain't even going to throw white men under the bus, even though they're well deserving of it. Black women like Chrissy, listen. If you're with any man with some money, he go and flex, including on you. Why not? Why wouldn't he? And Chrissy tries to do the whole protection thing where she's like, no, if you, especially if you're going the wrong way, and if you know, essentially what she was trying to say, but she was trying to cover all her bases. She's not speaking about a man trying to correct a woman who's going the wrong way and trying to course correct. She's speaking about the men that overtly use their money to oppress women. Granted, get you, Chrissy. We get you. We understand. That's not the issue here. If it was the issue, you would have left out all those little anti-black quips that you were making. All those little sleek little anti-black comments you were making. Particularly anti-black man, but we expect that. Huh? Wow. BGS says, Toya, that's what you get for bottom dwelling. Toya went under the bridge and she found trolls. Right? Hysterical. How you gonna go under the bridge where the trolls are and you ain't bring Z, Toya? You see what happened when the troll went on Rogers' report trying to talk to you. You see how Z handled her. Right? And Telescope says money for men equals leverage because we're actually willing to spend some on them. Chicks' money means nothing because they only spend it on themselves. Say that. Better buy a goddamn PS5, lady, and leave me alone. Right. You know what? Yeah. The Earth says any woman that refers to black men as ninja automatically disqualified. Right. Man. Bottom dwelling. That killed me, BGS. That killed me. Damn, Toya, I'm so mad you lost your old channel because there was some dope. Toya has some dope ass conversations on her old channel. Jeez, there was some dope ass conversations on her old channel. Yeah, because I'm thinking about a conversation we had on Toya's old channel about what we would consider maybe square black women, right? And how they show up and how they're treated by other women, other black women, obviously. Lion said, PS5 and a Sony TV, make it happen, boss babe. Hysterical. Shout out to Ms. Z. Ms. Z did buy. No, that was last year, not this year for Z's birthday, but last. Oh, by the way, when I went to. Oh, talking about Corey Holcomb. Yes, Chrissy, Mr. Z. You know, look, let's add some salt in that one. You know what Z's birthday gift was this year from Ms. Z? You want to know? Z, go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it. Z, go ahead and say it. Show tickets for comedy for Corey Holcomb's comedy show. Uh-oh. Yeah, you heard right. Mr. and Miss Z. We could have sat front row, but she didn't want to sit front row. I get it. Right? But we had VIP seats though. We still in the front, but not all the way in the front. Corey Holcomb, that was Z's birthday gift. There you go. Uh-oh. Huh? But I brought that up because last year was Ms. Z bought Mr. Z a pair of Vans, a matching hoodie with a 300ZX on it, and um Forza Motorsports. Forza Forza 8. It's Forza Motorsports 8, but they don't call it Forza Motorsports 8. They just call it Forza Motorsports now. So yeah. Yep. Talking about that PS5 line. I get a whole TV and a system, but I did get the game, and the game was obviously it was the best one. So she got me the $100 one, and there you go. And trust it, when Miss Trell bought me a PS2 and GameCube for Christmas, I knew I had to marry that girl. I'm telling you. Right? Rocky says, "Square black women. That would be a good convo. Please elaborate." I don't know if we can, man. Like I could, if I remember correctly, though, Toya was just telling us like it's just the way women like Toya are treated by these kind of hood ass sisters or the ones that's about that life, right? The quote unquote about that life ass girls. It's similar to how square ass brothers would be treated, right? So yeah, that's kind of where the conversation was going. And it was who was on the channel? It was me, it was Rogish, it was Toya, Bruce Owen Wayne. It was another Bruce Owen Wayne, but Bruce Owen Wayne was there. Who well, it was somebody else. I'm mistaken. Somebody else was there. If Toya remembers that. But yeah, it was a good conversation. Yep. Destro says heard Forza wasn't all that great. Initially it wasn't. They're getting better. It's still it's still okay. It's okay now. It was pretty bad before. It's like they just dropped the game and just said, yeah, we're gonna fix all the bugs and everything later. Because Forza Horizon 5 is such a cash cow, right? And so like to be honest with you, because it's new to this series of Xbox, um, I think that's number one. So they weren't able to port over all the cars and then just add more. That's what they usually do with the second iteration of a game, especially racing games on a system. So like this is Forza Motorsports 8. It's really Forza Motorsports. So when they come out with the next one, it'll just be so much easier, right? So because they had to develop these cars almost from scratch again, um, it just with so many bugs and stuff. Number one, number two, Forza Horizon is such a cash cow because they have you driving through cities and it's just a big ass world map and it's more arcade like. So obviously a lot of people are more invested in buying that type of racing game than something that's more of a simulator. Um, and so they put so much money and time into in cars. There's Forza Horizon 5 has so many cars, it's ridiculous. And then it also has SUVs and trucks and you have off-road and everything, right? So yeah, Forza Motorsports just started off bad. They're getting better. They're adding more tracks. They're adding more cars. They're adding more features. But goddamn it, Getcho, now you got me on the damn Forza rant because I've been considering whether I should rant about Forza for a while now. But yeah, they just so half-assed the rollout. It was so half-assed. It was so half-assed. Yeah, yeah. If Forza, they still have the freaking corny ass big shopping cart spoilers that they've been rocking since Forza, what, Motorsports 1 or 2? You know, yeah. The same garbage ass selection of Forza Motorsports Aero. Um, they have never updated any of the body kits for the cars that they've been having since Forza Motorsports 1 or 2 or whatever. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things that Forza needs to work on. But no, it's definitely gotten better. The physics has gotten better. Um, the gameplay's gotten better. No, it's bearable now. It's actually borderline fun. It's fun. It's fun. If you're me, it's fun. But before it was damn near unbearable. When it first came out for the first few months, it was borderline unbearable. You would win races, you couldn't save your replays, or you would try to save it, it would be corrupted, or it was an error, right? Or error, sorry. Um, yeah, it was borderline unbearable at first. Now, yeah, now you can have fun with it. And 18th letter says all games today are money grabs. Yeah, it's ridiculous. They haven't dropped any like purchasable DLC, the car packs that we're used to on Forza, where it's like 10 or 12 or 8 cars. 6 cars and you spend what $5 real money, and the cars are in your garage, or maybe even $10 or $20 real money, and the cars are, yeah, they haven't dropped any of that. The game been out for over a year, right? So yeah. Spanman says, just come on over to Gran Turismo. Yeah, I gotta come back to Gran Turismo because I gotta race Artisan MC again. We raced early on, and Mr. Z had to put the smack down, but Artisan has kept up with it. I haven't, so he might kill me this time. Yeah, right. So yeah. And Destro says, I'm more on simulator side, LOL, racing, ACC, Le Mans Ultimate. I did download the latest Forza, but haven't played it. No, it's good. It's good now. It's good now. You missed all the crap from over the past year and some change. Yeah, it's bearable now, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rocky said they ain't released a complete game since 2011. Hysterical. So yeah, the gaming world. So I was speaking to one of my close friends about that, and he's into first-person shooters. And so we were talking about we talked about like when the games were heavy on a few years ago. If y'all remember when a lot of the games came out, they were heavy on the gambling thing. When it was like it was always a crapshoot for what type of gear you would get for us in the car racing world, what type of car you would win after these set of races, and they just turned everything into gambling. And now we're in the era of like they're almost micromanaging your experience with the game, right? You don't get to select the next track anymore for some of these games, particularly on Xbox. I don't know how much this applies to PlayStation, but they put you in the next, like, let's say the next room is supposed to be whatever track. They choose which room you go into with that track. So what I'm saying is you don't get to just pick, oh, I want to go in this one. No, no, no. They pick it for you. Right. So yeah, it's a lot of the games have just become annoying with that. Right. So yeah. Elle said monetize gaming with packs and added features. Say that. Thank you. Slots is what I was trying to say. Slots. Thank you, Saint Cyr. Thank you. That's when I was saying gambling. That's what I meant to say. And Saint Cyr says that and buying packs. It was basically like playing the slots for special items. That exactly. Thank you, Saint Cyr, for reading through my crap. That's what I was trying to say. That for all of you guys that are not gamers, man. Like, what are we in? We're in 2024. I'm talking about like 2016, 17, 18 ish. Man, it was just that's all these games were. Like back in like PlayStation 2 and 3 days, if you had the manual for a game, you already knew, okay, I do these tracks, I win this car for okay, like let's say you have to win a set of 5 races. You win these 5 races, you come in first, second, or third. Really first place you get this car. If you win second place, you get these cars. If you win third place, you get these cars. And you knew it off top. You knew what you would win. Nope. Once we start getting to like 2018, 2017, no, it's slot. It's all gambling. You could get this or that or this or that or that. You might get some money. You might get that car, this car, that car. And the money, it might be, you might win $10,000 or you might make 50. Man, it just became a crapshoot, right? It just became a crapshoot. Now they're micromanaging your progress through the game, right? And I'm still waiting on. I'm like, Forza, when are you gonna start dropping like the major car packs, the 5, 6, 7 cars at a time that people actually care about, right? I know, and for those of you that play in adventure games or that are playing, first person shooters, I know y'all probably having the same issues. Like these games is getting ridiculous. And Mr. Z, like I am not opposed to once a month y'all put a car pack out with, you know, let's say seven, eight, nine, 10 cars, let's say, for $25. I'm not opposed to even if it's not 10, let's say 8 cars, $20. I'll do it. Right. So yeah, no, this the gaming world is just crap now. They I'm waiting for certain things. They remove certain cars from the old Forza. Um, yeah, man, I'm a little lost by this statement telescope, but I'm gonna read it anyway. As long as I think you meant to say as long as it's not pay to win software Z, or am I still reading that wrong, telescope? Right, but yeah, yeah. Name says microtransactions, aka loot boxing, man. But BS. Trail, you sounded old as hell with this in my day. Ass. That's hysterical. And Trail says, in my day, just had to play to unlock gear or new characters. Yeah. Yep. 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 That's what I'm used to. Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. As long as it's not pay to win. Yeah. Right. Saint Sears says, in-game monetization, there we go, has been a nightmare. I'm in the banking industry. The amount of times if seen statements of kids running up charges on their parents' credit cards, bruh, I know. I got coworkers who tell me about their children in Fortnite, their sons in Fortnite in particular. Right? My coworkers tell me about that all the time. Sons be racking up a bag on buying gear up for Fortnite. Hysterical. Oh yeah, yeah. Same thing with me. Rocky says in my younger days it was Game Shark, right? To unlock all the stuff. Yep, yep. I remember those days. But with the online thing, there's not even no real way to cheat the game anymore because the game updates itself, right? And you can't even cheat anyway. I remember they had this issue. What was it? Gran Turismo 7 or 6, where like there was a special way to like get your cars with a zillion, the crazy horsepower. But when you would go back online, if like I don't know if the server detected it or whatever, you could be kicked out the game for indefinitely. It was something like that, right? Lion said Game Genie. Remember that, right? I remember that. But yeah, so yeah, I remember that. I remember that stuff. I remember all of it. The days, the days when before we really went on. Oh, the last thing I gotta super complain about. This you constantly gotta be online thing. Oh, that drives Z crazy. The fact that you can't progress in the games now without being constantly online. Like you can't disconnect from the internet is crazy. See, before when it was optional, but you could still progress through the game and then you log back in and then you race online or whatever, you guys for first person shooters or whatever, y'all go back online and whatever. The fact that you have to continuously be online now drives me crazy because if it's, I live in South Florida. If the weather is crazy outside, you try to tell me I can't play this game? I can't even progress offline, right? And y'all give me a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. And shout out to Ms. Z. But yeah, and Telescope says you don't actually own the software anymore. No physical disc. Yeah, the Forza that I was telling y'all Ms. Z bought for me. Yeah, that wasn't it wasn't a physical copy, right? And that's that is that the first game I actually bought no physical copy? No, because the Gran Turismo I bought both. I bought because I think the I have a physical copy of Gran Turismo, the most recent one. But I have it for PS4 though. And then I bought the 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 best one, and I bought that the actual software. I didn't buy the physical copy for that, the actual online one. So yeah, Mr. Z. So you trying to tell me you bought Gran Turismo twice? Yes, that's what his Z is saying, right? So yeah, the game thing. They just squeezing us for this goddamn $10 here, $5 there, $20 there for the games. Because what you end up spending what $60 for the base game. If you're like Z, you always want to get the best one, the gold or whatever with all the add-ons. So that's 100. It's always 100 or 120, 120 sometimes. So base game is 60, $70. Um, the one with all the fixins, right? The one with all the fixins is 120, $100. Okay, cool. Then there's going to be the in-game purchases and all the add-ons, which are going to be at the cheapest if you're lucky, $2, $5, and on the more expensive end, $10, $20, and that's for the duration of the game that may last 2 and 3 years. Anybody want to tell Z he wrong about the way I just spoke about this? Right? Dreamcast. I know what you're saying, Trail. And Trail says that's where the Dreamcast rocked. I got a ton of games by downloading and burning DVD. Look, Trail, we were trading games. Trail, you was grown at that time. I was still in high school. We were trading goddamn burnt games for Dreamcast. Shout out to all my people that remember um Tokyo Extreme Racer. That was my game for Dreamcast, right? But yeah, we were trading games. As a matter of fact, what made Dreamcast dope and burning games, I played how many different Pokemon games on Dreamcast because it was burnt onto the disc, right? All the all the Pokemons that I never played for Game Boy, I ended up playing on Dreamcast. Say that. So yeah, Lion said that 30th anniversary PS5 controller is $200. You got it, rich ass. Right. Spanman says I always bought a base. You always bought a base game? Nah, I can't do it. That is the one thing Mr. Z is spoiled on. The second, oh, and by the way, once you, Mr. Z about to sound like a junkie. Once I realized you can lay away your game, like you can go to GameStop and like put $20 here and $20 there, and eventually just pay off the game until it comes out. Oh, it was a wrap. I always get the best one now. But I don't, right now, Mr. Z don't got no kids yet, so I'll just pay for the best one. Unless we talk about if we're talking about $200 and $300 games, that's a different conversation. But if you're talking about $100 or 120, I'll just buy it. I'll just buy it outright. Lion said I reserved one, but still, I'm saying, right? Mike said, Mike, you killing me. Mike Rizzi says, burn Dreamcast games was my first job. Hysterical. And Lehman says, I remember burnt disc for the PS1 and 2. So that I didn't do. I didn't even know about that. But yeah. Wow. Damn, Telescope. Oh, I would have been livid. And Telescope says, dog knocked over the Xbox and snatched the disc twice. Just keep it flat. Right? Oh, man. Spamman says, what am I really missing? Like GT, for example. Good. I mean, okay. Gran Turismo will have And for Gran Turismo and Forza, they will have like exclusive cars that you only could have got with the game with not just Game Pass. What's the phrase that Forza uses? Because Gran Turismo uses a different phrase, but for Forza, it's like so. Okay, I'll explain how Forza does it. So Forza has a car a month that it gives you if you bought the $100 copy, right? If you bought the $100 copy, um, it'll gift you a car that no one else is gonna get except for you and the other people that bought the $100 copy once a month, right? So you get that exclusive car. Um, it does double cash, so when you win a race offline, you get double cash. Is it online too? I don't be paying attention when I finish those online races. I'm gonna start uploading. By the way, like I have, if y'all check my videos, you'll see some of the stuff from Forza 7 I have up there. And I'm so mad because I think they erased everything. I copied so many more replays, I just never posted them. Um yeah, that I could have, downloaded it and posted it on my channel, but I'm even considering doing a whole separate Forza channel. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. But yeah. Yeah, pre-order DLC stuff. Thank you, Samuel. Yeah, you get the pre-order DLC stuff. Um that's the best way actually to say it is how Samuel just said it. Um, when you get the $100 copy. So yes, Bane man, that's that, right? Lion said GTA 5 is doing the same thing, exclusive cars and free cash behind a paywall. Man, this paywall thing is just the goddamn it's the devil. It's the goddamn devil. That's what it is, right? Hiding all this the some of the stuff, and then you still not necessarily getting exactly. Look, I'm about to go on this goddamn Forza rant again. Forza, if y'all don't do something about your goddamn Forza Aero selection, we're tired of these ugly ass spoilers on the hatchbacks and wagons, and even on the sedans and coupes. These goddamn big shopping cart ass spoilers. Could we get the little like gurney flap spoilers and all this other type of Forza Aero number one? Um, yeah, the car selection, Forza, you look, larger car selection. I get it, right? Y'all put so much energy on Horizon that y'all neglected the Forza Motorsports, right? Jesus Christ, killing me, right? Killing me. Naaman says you don't you have an external hard drive, Z? Um, Segregate has what's this? Seagate. Oh, Seagate. You said Seagate has the best ones. Oh, I said Segregate. My apologies, y'all. Seagate has the best ones. Yeah, but I have a external hard drive attached to. Is it the Xbox? Or is it a PlayStation? Attached to my PS4. I'm gonna get a PS5. And by the way, you know what's gonna suck about getting a PS5? I don't think I can port over all the stuff I did on Gran Turismo with the PS4. So I'm gonna have to start all over, probably. And you know what makes that suck for anybody, any one of us that ever played Gran Turismo? For BAC license, I got all gold. I'm gonna have to do all of that over again because I don't think I went all the way. I think I stopped at like A license or something like that. I didn't start getting into the international, the IA and IB and all that other stuff licenses. For those of you that never played Gran Turismo, so Gran Turismo is one of those rare games, racing games, where you unlock a set of races depending on your grade of license, and you unlock certain cars by winning gold or silver or bronze in license test. In license test, they time you on when you can, how quick you get from one point to a second point, how well you take certain corners. They're timing you and they're grading you. And if you get gold, obviously, if you get all gold, so it'd be 10 different license tests. And if you get all gold for that 10 set, then you win a particular type of car, et cetera, et cetera. It's way more difficult than it sounds because they getting gold is like really difficult on some of these tests. right? You got to break in zone and break at a certain time in the zone. Yeah, it's crazy. Um, yeah, and I got all gold for like 30 tests, maybe even 40. And I'm gonna have to do all of that again, and that's not gonna be fun. So yeah. Okay. And Ninja King says PS5s allows you to transfer data from PS4. You have to have them both on at the same time. Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. I did not know that. And the Spain man says, "Ish, I had to settle for silver on some of them." I'm telling you, it's difficult. It was one, and then come to find out, and the one that I settled for on silver, come to find out, Gran Turismo put out a PSA. It was on the most recent Gran Turismo. It's a rally track, and you're driving a Evo on the rally track, Lancer Evolution, everyone. Evo on the rally track, and you have to take the corners and obviously get to the finish at a certain amount of time. And I think my fastest time, I was off by like 2/10 of a second, so like 200 nanoseconds or whatever, milliseconds or whatever. And Gran Turismo put when they fixed the bugs, they put out bug fix rally tires on such and such track licensing, and I'm like, no wonder, bro. When I went back, I got gold the second try. I was so mad, Spain man. I damn near want to break the controller because I'm like, why can't I get gold for this one? Why is this one? This is the hardest test. I spent a couple hours trying to get gold. Oh, yeah. But the game that took me the longest to beat ever, y'all not gonna believe me when I say this. I'm about to Z, you about to expose yourself, Z. I'm about to expose myself. Final Fantasy VIII took me damn near 2 years to beat. Z, ain't no way, Z. Yep. It was my first RPG game. I knew nothing. My older cousin, shout out to my older cousin. He know who he is if he ever hear this. He used to work at Blockbuster. I know for you Z's, you like Blockbuster. What's that? Um, he used to work at Blockbuster, and so he got the copy of Final Fantasy VIII. But obviously, I didn't have the manuals. I didn't know anything. Y'all know this is before high speed internet. We had internet back then, but still. And so I didn't know anything about RPGs. I didn't know anything about what to do, where to go, whatever. And he ended up playing it, but he didn't like it. Plus, he was borrowing his friends. He had a 64. He didn't have a PlayStation. He was borrowing his friend's PlayStation, so he didn't have the time to play it and beat it anyway. So he ended up giving it to me. And so imagine how old was I at the time? Maybe 12, 13 or something, maybe 14. I was 13 or 14. Getting Final Fantasy 8 because I did 8, 8, 7, 9, 10, 10, 2, 12, 13, 13, 2, 14. Yeah, I played all of them, right? Okay, cool. But yeah, it took me damn near 2 years to beat that game because I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything. Yeah. So, but yeah, my love of JRPGs in particular came from Final Fantasy 8. Right. So yeah. Better uses those. Better believe. Um. Yeah, those believe. I think you meant to say better believe it. I got stuck on Final Fantasy 7 3 times before I beat it, bruh. Oh, and so everybody might know this, how to do this. So what I would do when I finally understood is I would grind. Oh, I would train and you find the spot with the hard ass monsters and you would just grind there. You would just train and train and train and just for forever to the point where you damn near almost liked it. And obviously when you first, it's like going to the gym, right? When you first get there, to whatever spot it is with the difficult monsters, you get your ass handed to you. Occasionally, you die, right? And then you just keep on going until they become easy, and then you find another spot. And I had to learn to do that because you would get to the boss at the end of a dungeon or a stage, and you would get mopped. And God forbid you go on a side quest. The side quest with Ultimacia or not Ultimacia, Ultima would be or whatever, man, you would get murked. Easy, easy, cake. So when I learned to like grind and train in certain areas before you start doing all the extra stuff and before you would go fight the bosses, yeah, just yeah, it's time consuming, but it's worth it. Telescope said bottomless mimosas, bottomless regrets. Yep, the ladies say that. Man, Detroit said I'm struggling on a Harry Potter game. Oh no. Oh, and how do I pronounce this? I'm just gonna say Rev. Rev says actually not supposed to do that. The monsters level up with you in Final Fantasy VIII. Well, I didn't know. Didn't know that. Spamman says one of those Final Fantasy games had me so shook for the final battle that I spent a month powering everyone up, but I was overprepared that it almost wasn't fun beating him. Yeah, I've done that. I've done that too. I've done that too. You know that, so that's when you're supposed to do the side quests and find. That's when this is when the internet gets good because it tells you who the baddest. Okay, every Final Fantasy, the most difficult person to beat or the most difficult fight is not the boss at the end of the game. It's like it's usually one of the Ultimas or whatever the hell, right? That's in the game. One of those that's in the game is usually the most difficult, you know, person to beat. Detroit says Resident Evil 8 Village. That lady was a Distremus, whatever her name, got me mopped on the floor when she f my ass up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out to these game developers and whoever these people are, man. Y'all be putting these bosses in these games. Make us want to break these controllers. Detro trying to get a real shouting match out here, and Detro said we should start having gaming tournaments. I'm down. I'm down. I'm not doing fighting games. Y'all gonna murk me in fighting games. I'm not that. I'm not. I'm not really good at the fighting games where you can't power up your characters. So if we're playing like a Budokai Tenkaichi type joint from back in the day, for all of us that remember those Dragon Ball Z Budokais and stuff like that, like that I'm pretty good at because I can like do things to Goku or Vegeta, like make them powerful or give them a sensu bean or something, stuff like that. But if it's straight up like Tekken, oh no, y'all got bump the floor. Street Fighter, y'all got me on all of that. Mortal Kombat, y'all got me on all of that. Yeah, I'm just yeah. But if we're doing Forza or Gran Turismo, now we talking. Now we're talking my language. Racing games, but especially the more simulator racing games. Oh yeah, that's my language, right? Trell and Better You said the same thing. Trell says, I would say Street Fighter versus Capcom. Better You says Street Fighter where the real ones at, right? Man, Detroit says Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. I'll have to handle that. Yeah, yeah. That's where y'all. That's y'all. I'm not nearly as good. I think I tried back in when I first got my PS4. I tried playing. Which game was it? Was it one of the Naruto games? It was one of the Naruto games online, and I got mopped. I think I did maybe. I played against 7 different people. I didn't win that one. I got mopped 7 times. Right? It ain't me. Now y'all see me on Forza, and y'all check my rivals list, and Mr. Z is ranking top 10%, top 9%, top 5%, depending on the track, obviously, top 12%. Usually, like I don't even like settling for top 12. I gotta be at least top 10% on the track. Um, and then if y'all see me online, like I regularly, and my lady laughs at me about this because I tell her about it usually in the morning or whatever I see her, and I purposely because Forza now, what it's doing, and it didn't used to do this, but what it's doing is when you depending on when you jump on the track, that's going to be your starting position. So if you're the fourth person to jump on the track before this race starts, you're probably going to start in fourth place, unless you do a qualifying lap. In obviously the qualifying lap people are the first people, so the faster your qualifying time, that puts you further up. Clearly, if you didn't do a qualifying lap, that's when it defaults to whatever whoever got on the track first or second or third or fourth, whatever. Cool. So what's fascinating about that is let's say I'm the eighth person on the track and there's 13 cars. I'll purposely let everybody pass me. And now I feel more of a challenge to try to get in podium position. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to get podium position. And I still get mad in the race when people block me out, spin me out, crash me off. Yeah, scrape my paint. You scrape my paint. But yeah, Baraka wins. Right? Flawless victory. So yeah, so I'm racing games I'm pretty good at. Y'all could ask Artisan MC. When we raced, it was good. There was one where he really almost got me. It's still on his channel from a couple years ago. There was one where he really almost got me because so that's my fault. I was toying around with him. I was using one of my 240Zs, and Artisan is good at like taking up the track. It's a really good racing move. And so he crowded me out of one corner, but I recovered. One of my back wheels got caught in the grass, but I recovered. But he crowded me out of another hairpin turn, and I jammed on the brakes too late, and I went, careening off the track, well into the dirt, and that gave him such a gap. By the time I came out the dirt, and it's like the racing dirt is almost like quicksand, because obviously in real life it's meant to slow the cars down before they hit the tire wall. So I came out the dirt, and Artisan C was forever ahead of me. So when I race in games, I put my headphones on. I don't listen to the car sounds and stuff. I don't need to, right? I need to zone out. So I don't know what I was listening to, but I really zoned out, and I was like, I can. After Artisan MC that did this, I really got to catch up to him now. And so I zoned out. I think it was 3 laps. By the third lap, I'm on Artisan MC, beginning on the third lap, and so he's trying to block me out, crowd me out. And there was one corner when he missed the apex of the corner. And so I did the over under. Over under is when you start on the outside of the corner so that you could get the perfect line and use the momentum, hit the apex, and go out. So I did the over under on him, a pause, and then just exited the corner a little bit ahead of him, and just out of there. And no, that's not true. That's not true. That wasn't that. That wasn't that. I tried to do the over under. He crowded me out, but I know I had better tires than him, and my car was lighter than his, and so I just went around him from the outside of the corner, and by the time because it was a S turn, and by the time the turn went the other way, I was ahead of him, and his car was more powerful than mine's on the straight, but by the time we hit the finish line, I was ahead of him, and there you go. Yeah, just like that. So yeah, no, I'm pretty okay on racing games. I'm definitely not the best. When you're in the room with the best racers, when you're in the room with the best racers, because these they're good. They're good. If you're top 5%, and your top 5% on the track is a 1 minute 30 seconds, and top 1% is a 1 minute 20, let's say 28 seconds or 27 seconds, you have to remember you're doing a track that's 3 laps. Even if you start off ahead of him, he's 3 seconds faster than you, right? So if you're a minute 30 seconds and he's a minute 27 seconds, that's 3 laps. That's 3 seconds a lap faster. To beat him, you need 9 seconds at least. Y'all see what I'm saying? So like, yeah. So if you're top 5%, that's good when you're in the room with other people that are a little bit slower than you. But when you're in the room with the top 1% guy, top 2% guy, yeah, it makes a big difference, right? So if you and him start off pretty much same, you're in fourth, he's in fifth. By the time he hits the finish line, you're not going to hit the finish line for another 9 seconds. That's a lifetime, right? So whenever I'm on the track, I'm just trying to run, especially if I see a bunch of cars go careening off the track first corner. I don't know how many of those people were actually really, really good racers, and some trash ass driver took them out by mistake or on purpose. So if I see you, let's say 20 of us are on the track, and I see 8 cars go off the track, and I'm right behind them, I'm running for my life because more than likely 1 or 2 of those people are really, really good, and somebody that was trash took out the really, really good drivers, and now I got a chance to maybe get podium. So I'm gone, right? I'm out of there, right? And I think I have a couple of replays um saved where I finished first place, and I beat second place by barely a bumper. And because second place was faster than me, but he had to catch up to me. He had to catch up to me, and I ran, right? Because got crashed off early in the race, and I ran for my life. Right? So yeah, it happens. It happens. Look, y'all got Z talking about car stuff and racing stuff. Okay, let's try to do a video game tournament for real. That's a good let's shoot for it. Let's shoot for it. So shout out to Chief Rocka. Like I said, we're gonna shoot for their stream this week coming up. So as I said to him, I'm gonna try to find this link that he told me about, and we're going to cover what he said from the Business Insider. Shout out to Chief Rocka, Buckeye fan. I did not forget about you. Also, shout out to Compassionate Callus. Yes, we're still going to do the Paul memo and neoliberalism. So we will pause right here, everyone. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Right? Yeah. You see, you got to block him in the racing games, right? No, if you see the replay, because I have it saved, because he caught me. Like when I say I beat him by bumper, man, he could real quick, y'all, because I was just about to end up in Detroit, just racing stuff. So when he was about to pass me, I started inching closer to him to like crowd him off and have him hit the wall. But I still beat him. Because my car overall was faster. But I used a modified 300 ZX. He used a McLaren F1 that he put a bunch of weight in so that he can bring it down to A class, right? So his car handled better than mine. My car just far accelerated his car when I could get grip. And then my car was trash in the corners, and his car was pretty good in the corners. So he caught me up because the finish line was right after a set of corners. Yeah. Yeah. I will. And Destro says, check out some of my racing replays. I will. I'm gonna post some. I'm gonna post some on my channel. What I'm going to do is I'm trying to do both views, where you get the replay view and then you get the behind the car view. So I'm going to have to record the replays from both angles and then save them and then upload them onto the program that I use to download these type of stuff, and then splice them back together, top and bottom, and that way y'all can see it from the replay view and from the behind the car view, right, from my actual driving view. So yeah. So all right, y'all, on that note, we will pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, and Mr. Z out. All right, y'all.